focus story in this bulletin at 6 p.m. The Allahabad High Court has sparked off a debate with its latest ruling that has declared that conversion only for the purpose of marriage is not valid. The single judge bench ruled that the conversion of 5 Hindu girls to Islam was not valid. 5 couples from across Uttar Pradesh had approached the High Court seeking relief against alleged harassment by relatives and police. The judge, however, ruled that conversion was null and void without any real belief in the religion that the girl had converted to. The 5 girls had stated in their petition that some boys got them converted for the sole purpose of getting married.
And the girls who were said to have converted did not know anything about these things. They said they don't know about Islam. They don't know about Allah, they don't know about Prophet, they don't know about Quran. Only for the purpose of marriage, their name was, they were given a Muslim name. So naturally, court had said that this is not conversion, and unless this is not a valid marriage between Muslim and non-Muslim, because nikah is permissible only between 2 Muslims.
High Court has no jurisdiction to declare marriages null and void under the writ jurisdiction, Article 226 of the Constitution. Because for such matrimonial reliefs, the Marriage Act separately provide the procedure.
Well, this ruling on a sensitive issue has understandably sparked off a debate. In just a short while, we're going to cut across to my colleague Amir Haq, who was there, who pretty much covered that ruling. Is going to give us the legal details. We're also going to cut across to a legal expert. But I want to immediately go to Mr. Maulana Maqsood Al Hassan and President of the All India Imam Council. We also have with us Dr. Rakesh Ranjan, spokesperson, Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha. Immediately, I want to go across to Mr. Ranjan first. Mr. Ranjan, what do you make? What do you make of this ruling that has been given by the Allahabad court today?
This ruling is in line with provisions of Article 25 of Indian Constitution. We welcome this judgment, although I am yet to study the judgment at length. In principle, I welcome this judgment. Hindu Mahasabha welcomes this judgment because unless until the girl is convinced with a particular faith, she cannot be converted to that particular religion. There has been a growing tendency in this country that number of girls were lured to Islam solely for the purpose of marriage, sort of love jihad cases, which were quite a big issue a couple of weeks ago, and it is still going on. So this will prohibit, this judgment will definitely prohibit occurrence of love jihad and forced and fraudulent conversion to solely for the purpose of marriage.
Right. Mr. Ranjan, even in 2010, because there have been 2 such rulings. This one, of course, right now in 2010, the Allahabad High Court had ruled, and I want to quote here, that non-Muslim brides must convert to Islam to marry a Muslim. Failing that, the matrimony will be null and void as it contradicts the tenets of Islam.
I want to bring it. Take place only
I want to bring it at this
Muslims.
point of time, Mr. Kazmi, the President of the All India Imam Council. Mr. Kazmi, what do you make of this, considering that there has been a completely contradictory ruling in the year 2010?
No, though I have not gone through the decision, the ruling of the Honorable High Court, Allahabad High Court, but the reason I have only gone through the newspaper. The girls in question, they told the court that they are not aware of Islam and they do not believe, they do not have faith in the oneness or unity of the God and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that it is the matter, another matter.
Yes.
And it needs to be deeply looked into. What is the matter?
Well, it's a sensitive matter.
No, but
yes.
it is sensitive matter. My colleague was raising the matter of so-called and fake love jihad issue. Love jihad issue doesn't exist in our country, and this is the fake for the gaining of the vote. Such people are raising such issues. So this is
With due respect to both gentlemen, this issue is a legal issue. It's far beyond the realms of
BJP. Shah Nawaz Hussain can marry to Hindu girl.
Right.
It doesn't fall under the love jihad. Mukhtarabad Naqvi
Sir,
can also
once
marry
again,
Hindu girl.
with due respect to both the gentlemen, this issue is far beyond the realms of so-called love jihad. It's a legal issue, and I want to immediately bring in at this point of time Amir, my colleague who's on the phone line with us. Amir, can you just take us through this ruling today by the Allahabad High Court? Just take us through the ruling.
Well, Preeti, it has been made very clear by the court here that unless and until you believe in a particular religion's philosophy and you entirely agree to it and also know the basic tenets of the religion, you cannot be assumed to be converted to that particular religion. And therefore, this has been made the ground for proving invalid the marriages in these 5 cases. I've also spoken to a number of clerics out here in UP, and let me tell you, they're also of the opinion they 100% agree with the decision done by the Honorable Court, and they say, as per Quran as well, whoever converts to Islam without understanding and knowing the basics is actually still remains a non-Muslim. So clearly, when he or she hasn't converted to it.
Well, Amir, that's where the contradiction comes in, doesn't it? Because there is a ruling in 2010 also by the Allahabad High Court which says that a non-Muslim bride must convert to Islam because it only confirms to the tenets of Quran. Otherwise, the marriage is null and void. I want to immediately cut across as well to Ms. Kamini Jaiswal, legal expert. She's on the phone line with me. Ms. Jaiswal, appreciate for you to join us in this debate. Very quickly, take us through the legalities of this ruling, ma'am.
No, the question is that this is a judgment which has come from the Supreme Court as far back as somewhere in the 1980s in the case of Sadla Mutkal.
And that's what the judge had quoted,
yes. Categorically held that converting to a religion just for the sake, for the limited purpose of getting married, that conversion would be bad and the marriage would be void, illegal. The question is, when you convert to a religion is something which you must believe in. It's a faith. You can't just use it as a ploy to overcome some law. See, what is happening is people are using this conversion as a ploy to overcome monogamy, which is there in the Hindu religion, and to, use the Muslim religion to convert into Muslim so that they feel then the marriage will be valid. So what the High Court has done today is only, in accordance with law.
Ms. Jaiswal, just, stay with us because the Maulana who's with us at this point of time, Mr. Kazmi, also quotes a 2010 ruling of the Allahabad High Court which had stated that a non-Muslim bride must convert to Islam to marry a Muslim as it contradicts Islam's tenets of the Quran.
So many contradictions, so many paradoxes.
Let Ms. Jaiswal come in. Ms. Jaiswal.
It's not a question of what Supreme Court lays down is the law of the land. The law of the land is that if you are converting, adopting a religion not actually in letter and spirit, but you're just converting for the limited purpose of marriage, then that conversion is bad and the marriage is illegal.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Ms. Jaiswal.
I would like to pose a question to Ms. Jaiswal. If a person, this is in Islam, if a
Ms. Jaiswal had joined us as a legal expert. She's no longer with us.
In Islam, I would like to point out.
Quickly.
In Islam, if a person only believe in oneness of God and he believe the Prophet Muhammad is his messenger, he simply converts to Islam. It is not bound for him to go into the depth of the Islam, to understanding the Islam. Only 2 things are must for him: to believe in oneness of Allah and Prophet Muhammad is his messenger.
But this is not about religion. No. It is not about religion. If you actually go through the ruling, it is not about religion. It's neither about love, jihad, Mr. Ranjan, that you've been quoting. It's not about any of the 2. It's just about faith that if you...
Hold on.
Yes, go ahead.
See, both the judgments are as per the spirit of Article 25 of Indian Constitution.
Yes.
The person who is changing the faith must understand where he is going and what he is going to believe. Okay. In this case, the girls were not aware of what Islam is. They were not aware of the concept of Allah and the prophecy of Allah and various prophets and last prophet, of course.
This is good. This is
therefore, they cannot be treated a Muslim. Coming to the 2010 judgment, which you are mentioning, in Muslim marriage, Islamic law, which is nikah, in nikah can be performed only between a Muslim husband and a Muslim wife. So if So a Hindu girl cannot perform nikah.
Okay.
That was for. That was very clear.
Unless he converts to Islam.
You know, gentlemen, once again, this ruling was really not about religion. The operative line of the ruling is, and it could pertain to both Hinduism and Islam, and it says
Absolutely.
that conversion only for the purpose of marriage is
Absolutely.
not
Absolutely.
valid.
No,
So
whenever-
it's
whenever-
far away
How
from the
can
realms
he
of love
detect?
jihad
How can
and what
anybody
you've been
detect?
quoting, Imam.
How can anybody detect? What is
Right.
the mechanism with you? This
Right.
conversion is for
Appreciate you
the
joining
sake
us.
of the
We're
marriage
running
and
out of
this
time. We
conversion is
appreciate
for
it.
the
We appreciate you joining us.
I have a point. There is a
Yes.
clear-cut, court-defined mechanism.
What is
It's
that?
not, once again, we're running out of time. It's not about a particular religion. It's not about Islam. It's not about Hinduism. It states very
But
clearly.
there is a clear-cut
There is a
definition.
It states
No,
very clearly
no,
conversion
in
for
this
the sake
country.
of marriage is not allowed. That is what the Honorable Court said today, far from the realms of love jihad as quoted by either of you. With that.